as we look at now, where people are making resolutions, yesterday I talked about some things that you can do. And today I want to talk about something else, that you want to live like a warrior and die a legend. What do you mean by that? Well, one of the first qualities of a warrior is courage. You want to live your life from now on with courage. That most people take their talents, abilities, and skills to the grave with them because of lack of courage. And courage is not the lack of fear. Courage is the willingness to do what it is you need to do, what you are called to do, in spite of the fear. You don't want to live a fear-driven life because you're depriving yourself, your family, and the world that you came here to do something. That's why we're told constantly in the book of life, be of good courage. Because there's stuff that's going to happen that requires that you have courage, that you stand up inside yourself and face it and handle it. Most people in a fearful situation, they forget everything and run, but there are few that in a fearful situation, they face everything and rise with courage. And that's who you are. That's why you're listening to me now, because there's something you want to do. And when you're going outside of your comfort zone, it takes courage. Most people, the majority of people, die within their comfort zone. They're not risk takers. They go through life trying to play it safe. Let me share something with you. There's no safe position in life. If we don't know anything else, if we have not learned anything else from the coronavirus, there's no safe position in life. You can't get out of life alive. You got to die to leave here. And so this is a time that you want to live your life full and do the things that you think about. Sure, you want to keep social distancing from people and from particularly toxic, negative, energy draining people. You want to keep social distance from them. Why? Because people rub off on you. But you're here to do the greater work. You're here to do something. You've got to live life like you mean it. When I decided to speak, I went at it hard because I didn't want to be just a speaker. I wanted to be a speaker that stood out, that made a national and global impact. And you can do that too. That's why you're listening to me. You have some talent, you have some knowledge, you have some experiences, you've seen some stuff. And there's some things in you don't want to take to your grave with you. So when you live like a warrior, you live courageously, you're fearless. Here's something else. When you live like a warrior, you honor your commitment. Commitment is major. See, when you decide that you're going to do something, when you commit yourself to live a life that's different than the life that you lived in 2020, you hold yourself to a higher standard. You're seeking something. You're pushing the envelope. You are challenging yourself. You are willing to walk by faith and not by sight. And you know, as a warrior, that there's a dramatic difference between being a warrior and being a worrier. Anybody can worry, and a lot of people are worried right now. Oh, the new virus coming, and it's even more lethal and spreads easier. Okay, got that. All right. And you got to eat. You got to pay the rent, got to pay the mortgage, got to pay the car note. I learned a long time ago the best way to get back on your feet is to miss 3 car payments. Come on. Yeah, but you don't want to be reckless. You don't want to die for a job. No. Somebody asks you, hey, sign here. And in the event you get sick, you won't sue us. Do I look like Mr. Kadumbo? No. Create something else. Life is saying no. Don't put your life on the line saying, Oh, I got to eat. I can either starve to death or I sign this and risk dying and leaving my family so they can starve without me. No, you can create something else. You have other options. Don't be limited in your thinking. I did that for years. Because I knew radio, I did it extremely well. And when I was fired, I was dumbfounded. What am I going to do now? Guess what? Learn something new. That's what. If you're willing to learn. See, most people aren't willing to learn. That's why I say, well, if I don't sign this agreement, my family will die. They'll just starve to death. Are you kidding me? Come on now. No. Don't sign anything that says that if you get sick, they're not liable, because they know that there's a high risk that you might get sick and they want you to be on your own. If you don't learn anything else, remember the name Herman Cain, who was sitting on the front row at a rally, proud, no mask. We got back to Atlanta, we had to go to the hospital. He said, no big deal. And now he's out of here 5 days later. They don't even mention his name. You talk about proud and involved on radio every day promoting the right. They don't mention his name as if he did not exist. Come on. This life is challenging us. In life, when you don't have enough courage or insight, intelligence, expanded vision, that you have outgrown a situation and it's time to move on, life moves on you. I'd outgrown radio. And now I can come on anytime I want and you can see me too. So you got to put your foot down. You got to get an attitude. Because, see, we're all basically the same. We're all basically the same. The only thing that separates us are our habits. I wanted something different for myself. I wanted something different for my mother. I did not want my mother working once I turned 18. So I made a commitment that I was going to generate enough money with my voice, with my story, in radio and then in speaking, to take care of my mother. You've got some talent. You've got something in you. There's a reason that God chose you out of 400 million sperm. You think you're just here to work on a job, pay the bills, keep a roof over your head, a car note, and then die? Come on, give me a break. No, you're here to do the greater work. You know it's true. You can deny it if you want to. I don't know how low your consciousness is. I know some people, no matter what I say, they're not going to hear me. The state of consciousness they're in, this message is not for everybody. That's why Jesus said, he who has ear, let him hear. Let her hear. And the people that can hear me, if you can hear me in your heart, not in your ear, I'm not challenging you and your hearing aid. No, I'm saying what's in your heart. Where your heart is, there your treasure is also. When you live like a warrior, you are vigilant, you are courageous, you take initiative, you're ambitious, you have an expanded vision of yourself. You're going to take some chances on you. You're going to bet on you. You don't settle for any and everything when you're a warrior. And you got to be in fight mode. You got to be ready to fight. Life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. I'm talking to you right now. I have some challenging pain in my body. But I had to fight to rise above that to come in here and talk to you now. I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm supposed to speak. I'm supposed to motivate and inspire people at a time that we need it now more than ever in the history of this country since we've been alive. And so, courage. Work on it. Raise the bar on yourself. Challenge yourself. Decide you're not going to be the same person in 2021 that you were in 2020. And the other thing is, and this is major, consistency. When I decided to be a speaker, I disciplined myself to memorize a minimum of 3 to 5 quotes every day. I didn't have any speaking engagements. The phone was not ringing to, hey, we'd like to book Les Brown. I was preparing myself. I want you as we, in this second day of 2021, just expect things to be great for you. Expect them to be great because you're going to show up differently. You're going to be consistent. You're going to do the things that you need to do that other people won't do. You want to be a perpetual optimist. Let's get her on. Life, you caught me by surprise in 2020, but that ain't going to happen in 2021. All the euphoria is gone. You've shown yourself. Oh, no. I'm not going to get caught up in the hoopla. No. This is a fight. You've taken something from me. We've been stripped. We've been stripped of personal touch. We've been stripped of spending personal, intimate time with loved ones and family members and friends. We've been stripped of gathering together. We've been stripped of a sense of assurance and faith. You've stripped us. No. And so when we look at this, we have to embrace the newness of this life. Reason I cut my hair. I want to remind myself when I look in the mirror, this is not the Les Brown that was in 2020. No. This is the one that's going to fight like a warrior and die a legend. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to make a greater impact. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to bring your family together. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to work on yourself. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to improve your health. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to create wealth. I want you to have the mindset that you're going to live an expanded vision of yourself, and you're going to go all in. All you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. But make sure you do all you can do. A.L. Williams, come on now. You got to get fired up as you do at a football game or a basketball game, or you start doing a little dance in church where they start strumming the organ. Yeah, no. You want to be fired up thinking and being creative. That's how you want to get your shout on. And creating more wealth to protect yourself and to insulate yourself from the ugliness and from the poverty and from the pain that so many people are expressing. This is your time. And it can only be your time when you are willing, as you look in the mirror, when you get up in the morning, Lord, whatever I face today, together, you and I can handle it. All things work together for good, for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. When you get up in the morning and you decide to live a courageous life every day, get up in the morning, you decide to make a commitment to live your greatest life. Get up in the morning in a spirit of gratitude and say, Lord, thank you for bringing me here. Thank you for dragging me into 2021. Thank you for protecting me and those I love. Thank you for the courage to go on, keep it moving. For those that did not make it, for my family members and friends that did not survive, I will live a life that will fill in the blanks for them. Because I'm here because of your grace and mercy. I don't take it for granted that I'm still here. And as Orrin Hudson would say, the best day of my life. We're here. We're not taking a dirt nap. We're here. There's some people, no big deal. It's a big deal. We're here. Don't look past this. This life is to be lived. Life is for living, for being happy, for being productive. Herein my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. Much fruit. Not a life of being average or being mediocre. Much fruit. You've been chosen. Are you feeling me here? You've been chosen. You have been chosen for the greater work. And time to step it up. People who operate in darkness, they are relentless. They never stop. They don't take no breaks. They're always doing something. You get up in the morning looking at your phone and say, what happened now? Look at the news and say, oh my goodness, what's next? People who are spreading confusion and darkness and hate, they make it their full-time job to do that. And we have to make it our full-time job to fight back. We have to make it our full-time job. If they run over here, they will limp back. We have to make it our full-time job to fight for a future for our children, to live a life that will outlive us. Sometimes you got to be like Jesus was when he went in there and the disciples were drinking and playing bid whist. What? Y'all about to make me cuss up and get out of here. Come on. Oh yeah. And so many people, it's easy to get relaxed. Once after all the celebration, it's easy to get relaxed. No, there's work to do. See, you've experienced some setbacks. When a car's driving, if the back wheels go the same rate as the front wheels, it will never catch up. So in order to catch up with the front wheels, you got to speed up. You can't be average. You got to put the foot to the floor. That's where we are. See, when you have lost your job, I don't know if you've experienced it, but I have. When you get 2 or 3 months behind on your bills, it takes more than 2 or 3 months to catch up. You're looking at somebody, I used to be so broke, I'd walk past the bank and trip the alarm. Oh, behave. Yeah. Yeah, you want to live like a warrior. When a warrior, you in fight mode. You are willing to do whatever it takes for you to discipline yourself, to dedicate yourself, to take the initiative, to embrace the newness of your life. You're God's instrument. when you embrace the newness of your life, new habits, new choices, new behavior, new friends, you set yourself up for miracles. Miracles are things that God does for you, through you, as you, and you know it's not you. And the only thing you can say when those miracles show up, look at God. Come on now. Come on. Yes. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. It's your time. This is your time. And it requires courage. It requires commitment. It requires collaboration with like-minded people, people going in the direction where you are, people who have goals and dreams, people that are positive and motivated and purposeful, have a sense of purpose, people that is a result of your relationship, that it's profitable for both of you, it's win-win. People that you can get together and create something new. I was on what they call that thing called Clubhouse, and I'm creating some new partnerships and meeting some new people on this new platform. Just because I'm 75, you're not going to lead me out. No, I'm not going to be home watching old football games or fights or Netflix. Who's got time to look at television? Viewership should be lower than it's ever been before, because people should be learning things, but don't worry about them. No, don't. That's none of your business. You don't be like, oh, you need to be learning stuff. Shut up. It's none of your business what people do with their lives. And don't listen to them when they tell you, oh, you just wasting your time. Then you take on their lifestyle. And then you begin to live the life that they're living. And if that works for you, then do it. No. This road that I'm talking about, the road to life, is straight and narrow. In other words, it's lonely. Everybody won't take that road. It's challenging. Everybody won't take that road. It requires discipline. Everybody won't take that road. It requires perseverance. Everybody won't take that road. It's a mindset. It's not over until I win. You're willing to pay the price.
Not only is it possible and necessary, and it's you to live your dream, to make this greatness that you have within you become a reality, but what I've come to appreciate when you're working on changing your life, changing some bad habit, getting out of addictive situations or relationships, or working to build a dream or making a difference in our society, or learning something that's very challenging. Here's what I realize, ladies and gentlemen, and develop a great deal of respect for. It's hard. Easy is not an option. It's hard living. Life is hard. See, it's hard when you're 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you 1 week severance pay. And you got to start all over again. It's hard when you're married and raising children, and your children are crawling, and your husband dies unexpectedly. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it, and it doesn't work out. You lose your money and other people's money. It's hard. It was rough when I lost my job, and I could not find a job. It was humiliating and embarrassing, borrowing money, and then I couldn't pay the money back when I told them I would. That's rough. How people look at you, how they respond to you. It's very hard. It's humiliating. Here's what I discovered that happens to you in life, that you will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. But after you go through it, and you get back and you look at it and you say, oh, now I understand why I needed that lesson. Have it ever happened to you? Raise your hand. Has it ever happened to you that I couldn't understand it then, but after I got through it, then I saw that that was preparing me for bigger and better things. That as you go through the challenges of life and you look at it and embrace whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Step toward it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. See, most people want it easy. See, easy come, easy what? Easy go. See, but when you go at what you're going to deal with and you deal with the difficulties of it, when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do, but you know that in order for you to get where you want to go, this is one of the hoops that you have to flip through. And I'm saying to you, whatever you got to do it, because if you don't, life is going to whoop you until you surrender and say, okay, all right, I cooperate, okay, I learned, okay. It had to wear me out a long time. So if it's hard, then do it hard. Now, how do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times? Les, you must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas, unquestionably. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That it's not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen. A lot of things are going to happen that will catch you off guard. And so therefore you've got to deal with and handle it as it comes. And not only that, but that faith and patience drives you into action. You've got to keep moving and keep plugging away. I can see people coming out talking to a guy out there watering and fertilizing the ground that's not showing anything. Hey, what you doing? You've been out here a long time, man. And the conversation in the neighborhood is, you growing a Chinese bamboo tree, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Well, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see ain't nothing showing. You know that's how people are going to do you? So how long you been working on this? How long have you been working on your dreams? And you have nothing to show. This is all you got to show? People are going to do that to you. And some people, ladies and gentlemen, they stop. Because they don't see instant results. It doesn't happen quickly. They stop. Oh, no. You got to keep on watering your dream. And when it began to happen, they stopped laughing. They said, look. Whoa, look here. Look up. Hey, man, you know, I know you could do it. Look here, you got a job here? See, during those hard times, we didn't know how you're going to make payroll. During those times when you failed and things didn't work out, they were nowhere to be found. But you know what I discovered? When you're working at your dream, somebody said the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Oh, it's sweet to you. It's good to you. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, see, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. And people know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard. Now that takes us to the next level. If it's hard, why do people do it? You ask people who do things, why do they go it? People who climb mountains just for the sake of it. Nobody paying him to do it, just do it. Somebody said, I'm going to run around the world. He said, well, why would somebody want to do that? I'm going to swim the Atlantic Channel. Why? Why do people do that? I wondered, why would a Nelson Mandela give up 26 years of his life? Why do people do that? Here's what I discovered in high school. High school, I decided I wanted to go out for football. Never forget this. And I discovered why people do things. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Even though it's hard, it's worth it. It's worth it. See, one day we had Coach Alkin Hepburn had this plaque down there and this wood on the floor, on the ground. He said, Brown, come over here. Had my suit on. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm going to have old Larry Littles down there. Old big Larry. Yes, sir. Big, fat, sorry Larry. Yes, sir. Brown, I want you to get down bull neck. Yes, sir. He said, I want you to run, Larry. I want you to put your helmet right in his pit, right up and hit his chest and knock him off that board. You hear me, Brown? You can do that. Yes, sir. Can you do that? Yes, sir. I said, hubba, hubba. I said, hubba, hubba. He said, Brown, I want you to knock him off. You're going to make the team. I know you can get him, all right? Look at him. How sorry he is. Knees knocking and everything. I said, yes, sir. And he went down to Larry. Larry Littles, who played 12 years for the Miami Dolphins, all pro for 12 years. This is a bad, big dude. 250 pounds, strength, agile, and all muscle. He said, Larry, he said, man, you know Brown down there. He's down there talking about your mama and everything. He talked about how fat and sorry you are and how he's going to knock you off this board. Larry now spitting fire and growling and foaming at the mouth. And I'm looking at Larry saying, oh, hubba, hubba. He said, look at that fool down there growling. He told me he's going to scare you that you're going to leave. Are you going to leave? No, coach, I ain't going to leave. Go down there and knock him out the park. Boy, coach got back. He winked at me. Go get him, Brown. I went hard. I ran into Larry with my helmet. Larry said, boom. I don't know where I landed. When they woke me up, I said, can y'all take this helmet off me for a minute? I said, y'all got any more positions out here? They said, like where? I said, don't y'all need an announcer? They said, Brown, where you going? I was crying. They said, man, some girls over there. I said, I don't care, man, I'm hurt. I said, that fool almost killed me, man. He said, Brown, you quit, man? I said, yeah. I said, what? I said, it ain't worth it, man. No, it ain't worth it. Y'all go ahead. Y'all crazy. I'll be your announcer, man. I was calling the game. I was up there in the booth. Called good games, too, because the pain wasn't worth it to me. And I'm saying to you, you know why people do what they do? The people who go after their stuff, what makes it worth it? It's got to be your passion. You got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love it. It's got to be what you are supposed to do. You want to sing, and even though they want to invite you to Carnegie Hall, you're going to sing to anybody that listens to you, including singing to yourself. I used to talk to my plants when nobody else would listen to me. You got to write, even if no one published your book, write, because that was given to you to do. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required. Just go out there. It's possible you can get what you want. It's necessary. If you want it, you got to go into action. You got to be willing to experiment. You got to be willing to fail and to succeed. You got to be willing to form and to develop new relationships. It's you. It's on you. You got to make that happen. Nobody's going to bring it to you on a silver platter and say, here's your dream manifested. No, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it. People ask, hey man, these kids, man, it's rough dealing with them. That's right. That's right. You think peer pressure happened overnight? We went through peer pressure. I remember as a kid, some guys said, hey Les, me and another fellow named Willie Lower, we were going home. Hey man, we're going down to Gould's, man, and knock off a grocery store. I said, look here, I don't want no part of that. I'll see y'all later. Say, y'all chicken. I said, that's all right, you say whatever you want. Low star. I'm not chicken, man. Don't call me chicken. Then why don't you come? We didn't even ask you to come into place, man. All you do is just drive the car, that's all. I don't know how to drive that good. Well, we're trying to get Les to come. He's chicken. Hey, I'm not driving nothing, all right? Willie, don't care about what they say, man. Leave him alone. You want to go do it? You find somebody else to drive, or you drive yourself. Come on, Willie, man. Pull him, he stopped. I ain't chicken. All I got to do is drive? Yeah. I said, Willie, that sounds simple, man. Don't go, man. He went. And the next day we read the newspaper where when they robbed the store, when they came out running to a car, the merchant, the man who owned the store, came out just shooting wildly, and he hit the driver in the head. So peer pressure didn't just start in the 90s or the 80s. It's difficult and it's challenging for kids right now. And it's going to take some easy, simple methods to help bring them out of this madness, this insanity? No. Is it hard? Yes. Let's look at what we've been doing. What has worked? What has not worked? Let's look at where we want to go. What is it that we want to produce? What is it that we want to create for our young people? And as we think about that, start experimenting with different methods and techniques to create and to produce that. And begin to believe that it's possible through our commitment, through our vision, through our determination, our relentlessness. Because of our belief, it's possible that we can reduce the teenage homicide rate, the teenage pregnancy rate, the dropout rate, that it's possible, looking at what kind of world are they going to be in. As we look at the global economy, that as we begin to use our collective will and genius and resources, it's possible that we can create an educational system that not only will test their minds with information and facts and figures, but will teach them how to think and be creative, and what does it mean to be a human being and to value human life, and how do you make relationships work? How do you bounce back from adversity? It's possible that we can give them a curriculum that will give their lives a sense of purpose and direction and meaning, and teach them how to begin to know and operate on a higher level of being, where they become assets to our society rather than liabilities. What if we leave here with that kind of consciousness that it's possible, as opposed to saying we have to write this generation off, that it's possible that we were born for such a time as this and that, that maybe someone here has the idea or the method or some plan of action or an approach that can resolve many of the problems that we're facing with young people today. Whatever we have to do to save our children, it's worth it.
I started out memorizing quotes. Then I got a coach. Then I started listening to other motivational speakers. Then I started going to seminars and workshops. Then I started speaking on a volunteer basis because I felt it was my calling. A calling is something that you're made for. So a calling is something that you love so much you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. This is the time if you want to be on top of your game. Now listen, this is not for everybody. The masses will use their time being a spectator. We've been conditioned and programmed to be spectators, to watch people live their dreams. You want to use your time living the kind of life that people watch you. Hello? That people pay money to see you. People pay money to buy your books. People pay money to go to your seminars or your workshops, or to purchase your art, or to hear your lecture on a particular subject area. You want to use your time perfecting your skill and your passion to stand out as an expert. Use your time to operate from that consciousness of Henry David Thoreau, who said, "Do not go where the path may lead, go where there is no path and leave a trail." I talked to a friend of mine yesterday that has a new invention. I said, "Whoa!" I said, "How long you been working on this?" "Well, some time, but I finally got it together." I said, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." Because if you look around, people are coming up with new ideas. And here's something. If you do this, if you maximize your time, if you just decide, I'm going to find something that I would enjoy doing, and then I'm going to carve out the time and have a schedule that I'm working on it every day, listen to me, nobody can touch you. I was just going through the internet the other day. It's amazing the magnitude of craziness that's out there. This computer, the video, you can use it to start a global business, to earn millions of dollars, to touch millions of people. And it's amazing the time and the effort that people put in to produce stuff that's nonsense. It's amazing. There's no competition. There's no excuse today for not becoming successful. Even if you've just lost your job, even if you're going through foreclosure and eviction, you can come back. You have no competition because the majority of the people throw their time away and they have nothing to show for it. I remember when I was in Miami and I came down and I just finished doing one of the television shows that I'd been paid $5 million for. And I saw a friend of mine named Lefty that we used to shoot pool together on 3rd Avenue and 12th Street across from Douglas Elementary School, Sam's pool room. And I said, look, Lefty, I'm about to go back to Columbus, Ohio. He said, oh, great, man. He said, I'll be right here when you come back, holding down the corner. He was holding down the corner. This guy that I used to look up to, he was a very talented and gifted basketball player. He was holding down the corner, have about 12 teeth in his mouth, holding down the corner. Have you seen people who just, their lives are just stopped? They're not working and producing. Herein my Father glorified that ye bear much fruit. We were put here to bear some fruit? No. Much fruit. To be productive, to make an impact, to create a presence. That's why we're here. To work. To leave our mark. And so do an evaluation of yourself. Ask yourself, if you look at 24 hours, how much time do you spend developing your mind? How much time do you spend learning a new skill? The economy has changed. 47 million jobs will be lost to artificial intelligence. Majority of money being made on the planet is being made virtually at home on a computer. The game has changed. The day where you can go to college and graduate and have thousands of dollars of debt and be able to get a job working for 40 years and retire in 40 years on 40%, which wasn't enough in the first place, that day is gone. And I'm encouraging you, get around people who are using their time productively because people rub off on you. I remember Steve Skilkin. He's out of Columbus, Ohio. He really inspired me to earn my first million. He's a very good friend of mine. And say, hey, Boo and I, we're ready to watch the Baltimore Colts and Johnny Unitas. He said, I can't come Sunday afternoon. And I said, why? He said, I'm at the office. I'm working. I said, you the boss, man. Have your staff do the work on Monday morning. He said, I got a goal of earning my first million by myself and not with my father's money. Now, I was on the east side of Columbus, Ohio, living in what I would call a human doghouse. That's an apartment that does not have a back door. And Steve lived in Bexley in a home that's valued at probably $7 to $8 million. I'm getting all ready, me and Boo, Calvin and Patrick, to sit in front of the television, watch Johnny Unitas and the Baltimore Colts live their dreams. And Steve, whose father, Joseph Skilkin, built shopping malls all across the United States. Steve, whose father left him and lent his sister millions of dollars, was at work on a Sunday afternoon. And I sat there for a minute, and I got up and I walked out. Who said, aren't you going to watch the game? I said, no. I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. And I focused my energy. I said, wait a minute, he's already a millionaire. He inherited millions of dollars, but he had this sense of himself that he didn't want to capitalize on what his father generated. He wanted to be able to outdo his father. See, this is the first generation that will not outdo their parents. What I've accomplished, what I've done, based upon what Mamie Brown put in me, my mother, I went beyond her. She had a 3rd grade education. I had a 12th grade. I was in the 12th grade, graduated from Booker T. Washington High School in special education. But because of what she put in me, I went far and touched millions of people's lives around the world because of how I used my time. She worked in a cafeteria. She worked for wealthy families. And there's nothing wrong with that. But our children are to go beyond us. I was with a friend and he called his son and wanted to borrow some money for gas. I didn't say anything, none of my business. My mother used to have a sign on her mirror, "Oh Lord, help me keep my nose out of other people's business." Miles Monroe, he said, when you know your purpose, that narrows how you use your time. How you use your time. How are you using your time? You have something special. You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. I know you've done some things that you're proud of, but I can tell you, based upon my own experience, if you're willing to put in the time with a coach, that's me up in here. If you're willing to put in the time to learn how you can use your voice, to learn how you can use your story, and the time is now. Don't put it off. Don't put it off. No, don't take it for granted. You've got more in you. Be willing to learn something new. Be willing to put in the time and the effort to acquire new skills so that you'll be in charge of your financial future. Things about the bottom is about to fall out of this economy. I know a thing or two. I'm a former elected official. I know the signs. And so the people that are going to come out on top are the people that will put in the time and effort to learn something new, to get the coaching that they need to get, to save them time. You always want to do things that can save you time. From somebody who's been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt. If that's who you are, if you want to save some time learning how you can use your story and your knowledge and take advantage of this attention economy, if you're serious, I only want to work with people that are serious, that are hungry, because I was hungry. I'm just not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life. That's just not me. I don't like going into an office and being all cooped up. No, seeing people I don't want to see every day. No. You are here to live life on your terms. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. You're made in the likeness and image of God. If you believe that, then live like that. Live from a place of power. Because that's who you are. You got it like that. I'll teach you. If you have goals and dreams, I'm putting together a community of people of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. Every day we'll be talking about how you can develop your mind. Every day we're talking about how you can learn a new skill that will put you outside of the realm of a job, the journey of the broke. Every day. When you're in a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, and I'm coaching you, eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor is entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. When you are willing to open your mind to new possibilities upgrade your skill set and get around the right people. I can't tell you the number of intelligent, gifted people who got it wrong, who got it wrong, who got it wrong. They got around the wrong people, and that short-circuited their potential.
Describe what it feels like growing up in a home with your father.
Well, that's an interesting environment, to say the least. I'm very blessed to be the youngest son of Mr. Lester Brown. Growing up in the household, it was really surrounded by empowerment. It was surrounded by, we had a large library and motivational, empowering audios that we had to listen to on a regular basis. And I did not realize at the moment how that would play such a major role in my development later on in life. But I remember a time growing up with my dad, and actually I was in high school and I was struggling in school at the time. And before my report card, my dad put me on punishment. I'm like, hold on a second, why would you do that? I've been checking the mail, I know you haven't seen my grades. And why would you put me on punishment? And in our household, we didn't have a typical punishment. No, there was no timeout, none of that. He actually put me on what he called room arrest. Okay, room arrest, yes, which meant I had 2 meal breaks and 2 bathroom breaks, and I could not leave my room. And then he took the keyboard from the computer so I could only see my screensaver. He took away my television privileges. He took away my telephone privileges. And he said, every time I walk by, you better be studying.
There's something else I took away. What was that?
On top of all of that, he took the door off the hinges of my room.
Oh my. He
And-
not only owned the house, he owned the door to the house.
Hello, thank you.
Yes, and he has such a sense of humor, so he would come by the room and fake knock on the door. Oh, no need to knock, young man. I can see that you're reading. And
And plus, he tortured you.
yes, indeed. Add that to the list. And I remember I was in my room reading. I would read motivational books that we found around the house, but I wouldn't do my homework because I felt that was giving him what he wanted, the control. So came across this book by Jim Rohn, and it had this quote that really stood out. He said, your life, my life, the lives of each and every one of us will serve as either a warning or an example. It went on to say a warning of lack of discipline, lack of drive and ambition, or an example of objectives clearly perceived and intensely pursued. And I remember in my room on room arrest, just with 2 bathroom breaks and 2 meal breaks, I read that book and I said, oh no, I'm a warning.
Oh my God.
What not to do.
Yes.
And the best part about growing up in his household was just to be surrounded by such a great example.
Yes.
And that's a blessing that I still give thanks for to this day.